Welcome to today's live reading from Ramayana, the story of Lord Ram. We are on Ayodhya Kanda at the moment. Sorry, I think I have disturbed this. And we are on Ayodhya Kanda at the moment. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So yesterday we read that Bharat Maharaj has arrived in Ayodhya and he has refused to be coronated. And now he is being summoned by he's asked all the ministers and the military commanders and his important citizens, and he's having a meeting with them, and he's not at all happy with Queen Kekai, and Maharaj Dashrath has left this world. So we'll continue from there onwards. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. When Bharat arrived, he was cheered with the same enthusiasm previously offered his father Vashisht, then addressed Bharat as follows. O Prince, because Ram and Lakshman have been banished to the forest and your father has gone, life within the kingdom has become disrupted for want of a ruler. We know you are innocent of Kekai's intrigues and were selected by Maharaj Dashrath as its successor. All preparations have been made and the citizens are expectant. Please give your consent so that we can install you upon the throne this very day. Bharat became pained to hear this proposal. Restraining his tears, he replied to Vashisht, O foremost of the rishis, you are well aware of our family tradition that the eldest son should assume the throne. I could never think of usurping the throne from Rama, for I consider myself to be his menial servant. I want to leave for the forest as soon as possible to persuade Ram to return to Ayodhya. If I am unsuccessful, I shall remain with him like Lakshman. Therefore, make ready a formidable army and have engineers construct the necessary routes so that we may proceed without impediment. Upon hearing Bharat's impassioned plea, tears came to everyone's eyes. Everyone was pleased that his determination upon receiving their approval. Bharat also felt great relief and shed tears of joy. As news of Bharat's desire spread, everyone became joyful. Therefore, the ministers summoned many engineers and laborers. Soon a huge work crew left the city to construct a broad highway into the forest. First, the workers cut down the trees and dug up the roots, leveled the ground and filled all the holes. Then they built bridges across the streams, and having paved the highway with concrete mixture with lime, they lined the road with flowering trees. Dams were then constructed to create artificial lakes. Everything was completed. The entire highway, which extended from Ayodhya to the banks of the Ganga, was sprinkled with the sandalwood-scented water. Big tents were pitched at appropriate places to provide rest camps that were summoned by fences and moats. Thus, the entire pathway, which appeared fit for use by the demigods, was completed in a very short time. After the construction was thus completed, the citizens felt satisfied. The transforming effects of devotional service to the Lord are truly wonderful. Although previously the people were dejected because of the separation from Ram, they immediately felt relief as soon as they began to serve him. So it's so nicely here, the mood of the people has been described here in these lines, that by serving Lord, the effects you get of the devotional service are simply wonderful. There is no difference between serving the Lord and seeing the Lord. Indeed, serving him is the proper way to approach him rather than trying to see the Lord directly. We should serve him so nicely that he will want to see us. The next morning, Bharat ordered Sumantra to bring his chariot and then departed with his huge army. The entire party led by Bharat consisted of 60,000 chariots driven by charioteers, completely devoted to Ram. 100,000 cavalrymen and 9,000 elephants decorated like lotuses. Kaushalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi also came, riding in separate chariots, hoping to bring Ram back from the forest. Many of the citizens also accompanied Bharat, being delighted at the prospect of seeing Ram. The citizens looked like the denizens of heavenly planets. They wore their very best clothes with garlands of fragrant flowers, and their bodies were smeared with sandalwood paste. The chariots appeared like celestial airplanes, and the elephants moved inexorably forward like clouds driven by the wind on a beautiful sunny day. When the party arrived at the bank of the Ganga, they stopped to spend the night. Bharat took the opportunity to offer libations of Ganga water to his departed father. When Guha saw Bharat leading a large army into the forest, he suspected that he intended to attack Ram and must be prepared for danger. As a precaution, let 100 soldiers guard each of our 500 boats. Then, if necessary, we can prevent Bharat from crossing the Ganga. So he instructed his men. Taking many gifts with him, Guha went to meet Bharat, hoping to ascertain his true mentality. When Sumantra saw Guha approaching, he informed Bharat that Nishad king was the friend of Ram. When Guha arrived, Bharat extended all hospitality and inquired of the route of Bharadwaj's ashram. Guha said, "You can rest assured I shall guide you there, so you won't experience the slightest difficulty. But please tell me frankly what your intentions are for going to see Lord Ram. Coming with such a large an army, it appears you have come to fight with him." Bharat replied, "My dear Guha, your accusations give me great pain. Please believe me when I say that I have come to just persuade Ram to return to Ayodhya so that he may be installed on the throne." Then, because night had already fallen, everyone prepared to take rest, Guha then approached Bharat as he lay upon his bed and told him, "When Ram came here with Sita and Lakshman, he lay upon a bed that we made from dried leaves. As Ram and Sita slept, Lakshman and I stayed awake all night talking. Lakshman could not bear to accept any comfort as long as Ram was laying on the bare ground. The next morning, Ram and Lakshman matted their hair with the sticky extract of a banyan tree and crossed the Ganga. Hearing that Ram had matted his hair, Bharat became most aggrieved. He feared that his elder brother would not be willing to return to Ayodhya. Overwhelmed with apprehension, Bharat suddenly fainted. Kaushalya, who sat nearby, came to his aid. It was only after 1 hour that Bharat regained consciousness. When he saw his anxious stepmother, he assured her that his fainting was not caused by hearing any untoward about Ram. At Bharat's urging, Guha continued to describe everything Ram had done on his way to the forest. Guha then led Bharat, Shatrugna and their mothers to where Ram and Sita slept. He showed them the kusha grass remained crushed by the weight of their bodies. Everyone was very sorry to see this, for they remembered how Ram used to sleep comfortably surrounded by royal opulence. Bharat was especially pained, for he considered himself to be the cause of Sita, Ram and Lakshman's suffering. Bharat condemned himself and decided to immediately make his hair matted and lie down upon the ground, thus taking Ram's place in exile. The next morning, adorned with matted hair and tree-bark dress, Bharat requested Guha to assist him in crossing the Ganga. Thereafter, the entire army of men and horses was taken across the boats, while the elephants swam the river. After safely reaching the other side, Bharat disembarked and, with Guha's guidance, proceeded for the ashram of Bharadwaj. When Bharat drew near the great Rishi's hermitage, he left his army waiting at a distance of 2 miles and proceeded on foot with Vashisht and Shatrugna. When Bharadwaj saw Vashisht enter his ashram, he quickly rose up to greet him. He proceeded to ask the welfare of Ayodhya. Wanting to know Bharat's true intentions, the Rishi said, "O Prince, please tell me what brings you to this forest. I pray you have not come with any intention of harming Ram." Bharat was extremely hurt by the Rishi's words. With tears in his eyes, he replied, "It's painful to see how people doubt my intentions. Please know that I have come to the forest only to try to convince Ram to return to Ayodhya so that he can rule the kingdom. O foremost of the sages, please be gracious to me and show me where Ram is staying. Bharadwaj then replied, O Prince, I already know your true mentality by dint of yogic power. I only tested you as a formality. Your elder brother is residing in Chitrakoot mountain. Now please stay here for a night and you can resume your journey tomorrow. Bharat accepted Bharadwaj's hospitality. Then the Rishi requested him to call for his entire army, wishing to entertain them also. After the soldiers arrived at the ashram, the Rishi invoked Vishwakarma and many of the demigods headed by Indra, Yamraj, Varun and Kuber, requesting them to supply all the necessary objects for a first-class reception for his guests. Immediately afterwards, fragrant breezes began to flow, and as fragrance flowers showered down from the heavens, celestial drums beat accompanied by the singing of Gandharvas and the dancing of Apsaras. By Vishwakarma's arrangement, the entire area within a 40-mile radius became instantly carpeted with lush parks full of fruit and flower, bearing trees, miraculously 4-room mansions and stables became manifested, as well as royal palace complete with every imaginable comfort, furniture, food, clothing and article of enjoyment. Bharat entered the magnificent palace accompanied by his priests and ministers. As he approached the royal throne, he meditated upon Ram as if he were seated there. Thinking in this way, Bharat circumambulated the throne and then offered obeisances. He then picked up the chamar and sat in the seat intended for the chief minister as everyone else took their respective places. Meanwhile, by utilizing his mystic power, Bharadwaj created a river of sweet rice and flowed through his ashram. Lord Brahma and Kuber each sent 20,000 women whose embrace caused men to appear as if seized by a fit of madness. The chiefs of the Gandharv came to sing of Ram's glories for Bharat, and celestial trees were summoned by Bharadwaj to accompany him on various musical instruments. While Bharat was thus being entertained, soldiers were hardly neglected. Celestial girls sang to them with sweet voices and urged them to drink wine and eat sweet rice. 7 or 8 girls were engaged in rubbing each man's body and then bathing them with water. Other girls massaged the warriors' feet while giving them wine in secluded places. Even the horses were fed grains dipped in honey. When the men became intoxicated, they exclaimed, "This is heaven. We no longer want to continue our journey to the forest of return of Ayodhya." It is something you feel like laughing after reading, that people will be people, no matter which yoga it is. In this way, the soldiers became satiated with all manner of enjoyment in the company of the celestial damsels. Indeed, thousands of soldiers were seen running here and there while singing, laughing and dancing. Everyone was so amazed by the entertainment that it appeared to them as if they were enjoying a delightful dream. The night seemed to swiftly pass. With the appearance of dawn, the Gandharvas, the Apsaras, the celestial trees took their leaves from the Bharadwaj and returned to their respective abodes. Bharat then took his mothers and approached Bharadwaj, asking him for the directions to Chitrakoot. He saw that a woman of party appeared emaciated from grief. Just then another woman clasped his feet to offer respects, while a third stood with her hand hung in shame. Seeing this concern, Bharat explained, "This is Kaushalya, the senior wife of my father. This is Sumitra, the mother of Lakshmana and Shatrughna, and this other woman, who is vulgar, cruel, conceited and sinful, is Kaikeyi, being the cause of Ram's exile. She is the cause of all present miseries." Bharadwaj then told Bharat, "You should not consider your mother to be actually guilty. There is a higher purpose behind Ram's banishment to the forest. Thus it is meant for the welfare and happiness of all entities." So what a lovely lesson has been given by Bharadwaj Rishi to Bharat, that whatever is happening, it sometimes looks painful to us in our present circumstances, but sometimes it is for a higher purpose, which is for our own welfare and happiness in the long run. So we will continue our reading from here onwards perhaps tomorrow. And I wish you all a very happy Damodar month, Kartik month, and please offer candles, ghee lamps to Yashoda Maiya and Lord Damodar. And today's Sharad Purnima also here in UK. I think it was yesterday in India. So you can offer sweet rice kheer to Bhagwan, because on Sharad Purnima night Bhagwan has Rasa dance with the gopis as well. And you can also watch Hare Krishna TV morning and evening and watch Damodar Ashtakam. You can offer your lamps also there if you wish to. And please listen to the Gopi Geets. They'll be coming from tomorrow, from the 1st of November to the 30th of November. The Gopi Geets will be coming after the Damodar Ashtakam at 7:30 every night. The Gopi Geets are the Geets sang by the gopis in separation of Lord Krishna, and they are very beautiful and very melodious, and the bhav, the Gopi bhav, is absolutely ecstatic. This is how we should all try to serve Krishna, in the mood of separation, just like gopis. Gopis are the highest example for us as devotees on this earth. So I'll take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy Kartik month, and please get the unalloyed mercy from Lord and do his unalloyed service as well. And do whatever you can, just do it regularly, as Sachinandan Maharaj was telling yesterday in one of the messages I shared with you, that just do what you can offer regularly, because this month is like a Kartik Vrat as well. And if you can avoid Urad Dal, which is the 4th item to be avoided in the Chaturmasya. The 4th month of Chaturmasya begins today. Yesterday it was the abstaining from milk, which is in the 3rd month. First was spinach, second was yogurt, dahi, then 3rd month was milk. And this month, in Kartik month, we abstain from Kartik. So I know those of you who keep the Karwa Chauth must be thinking, oh, we are used to eating the urad dal or the dal makhni on the Karwa Chauth day. So it's fine. You can always make a rajma, you can make a chauri dal, the azuki beans, or as we call them in English, or the whole moong. And you can have your other regular feast of anything you like. So I will take your leave and wish you all a very happy day ahead. Please chant and be happy. Hare Krishna.